Boards games, boards games, that's what I'm talking about. Boards games, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this morning with a little bit of singing. And today I'm talking about this very stream. You could say I'm arguably talking about me. I'm talking about the Bessie Breakfast board game bladder in a somewhat meta manner. Board games, I'm not gonna shout. This board game live stream is what I'm talking about. Hey! Good morning, everybody. It's lovely to see you, and as you just heard, this is the Bessie Breakfast board game bladder. I am Bez. It is approximately breakfast time, at least within the UK, and I am blethering about board games. And good morning, Alan. It is always lovely to see you. And as always, I do want to say that please, if you are watching, feel free to comment. All respectful comments are always welcome. Oh, there's the cats again. And feel free to share it, to give it a thumb, a like, a follow, and all that good stuff. So yeah, now first of all, we want to look in and think about some brilliant things. What's a little thing that is brilliant? Brilliant things. I want to talk about trees. I mean, have I already talked about trees? Maybe I have. But let's talk about cherries. Cherries. Yeah, cherries come from trees. And cherries, they're so delicious. And then my neighbor had cherries. And, you can go around just any fruit, just going and picking the fruit from the tree and be like, wow, this grew up right here. As I'm getting it. It's like, there's the sense of, okay, you're always destroying something by consuming, by eating. You're always destroying the apple, you're destroying the pear, you're turning it into parts of something, parts of you. But in a way, at least the tree kind of, as an organism, it kind of carries on living, which is pretty cool. And so, you've got this big organism and it's got this little droplings. It's kind of like you're eating the sexual reproductive material of these trees. And so, yeah, it's like, I don't think they mind, because these cherries or whatever, they would just drop off anyway. And so, yay, for fruit, brilliant things. And some of them are tasty. And yeah. Hey, Tally, it's lovely to hear you. Oh, I'm sorry that you've got rubbish weather. But yay, let's all definitely cheer for cherries. Now, let's move on to talk about highlights. Listening to music and seeing the sights. That needs a better song. So, daily highlights. Daily highlights for me, got up, listened to a bit of Primal Scream this morning. Maybe I was influenced by talking to Alan Paul yesterday about it, but also I got up, kind of something to get me out of bed. Screamadelica. Yesterday I was doing a bit of live streaming and there wasn't folk watching, but it was just really good having it was the four of us, James, Andrew Dennison and Tom Cauldron, and we all played a couple of games. That was really nice, although I'm not going to get into that. I'll wait a moment because we're going to talk about the games we've been playing in a minute. But the main daily highlight for me, I would say, was printing out a new version of the L deck and playing it with Chris. And even though this is technically a game that we've been playing, we're kind of looking at all the borders and comparing them and thinking about visual accessibility. And I'm really excited to share that with you in the very near future. By the very near future, I don't mean today. I don't mean probably not. But anyway. Lolvi, hello. Plums are also awesome. just all the fruits. That's what I'm talking about. Getting those sexual material off the trees. All the plums, all the apples, all the pears, and then it just keeps dropping. It's brilliant. And like I love pears especially because they just drop down, and then when they drop down, they're already ripe. Anyway, let's talk about games. Games. What have we been playing? What are their names? Games. Tell me, what games have you been playing? Apart from Grabble, which I played primarily to test the L deck, the new L deck that I'm still working on graphically, and little help from Miles. And we also played last night a bit of Q4U, a completely new set of rules where we had to vote on our favorites, and it was just okay. How many bonus cards can you use? Trying to use many bonus cards, but not be the longest answer. So that was a little bit of tension. I'm not 100% sure it's working. I think that the straight up 1 point per letter, it's kind of hammered home the whole gambling aspect. It's like you want more, but you don't want to be the most. Whereas here, if you manage to cram all the bonus letters, because maybe there's 6 bonus cards and you're really bright and you manage to put them together into a 12-letter phrase, and then you're like, yeah, I did brilliantly. Whereas I struggle and maybe I'm not able to pay the full attention, and I did it in a 22-letter phrase, but I'm not being more greedy than you, I'm just being less skillful, so it loses that little bit. But we're going to change the rules once again, and it's all useful testing. We also tried Freemel. We played Freemel 3 times. We played it with 12 cards, then we played it with 12 cards, and we played it with 18 cards. I think we've come to the conclusion Freemel, 18 cards is best. So you're making 1, 2, and 3-letter words. So with 12 cards, your ideal score is 20, i.e. 2 sets of 1, 2, and 3-letter words. But with 18 cards, you can make 3 sets, which is a little bit more, okay, everyone's going to get at least 1 set, everyone's going to probably get 2 sets. You feel a little bit more sense of achievement. And so that was, Freemel is now completely done. It's going to be upgraded to Thursday, and we will probably play that again in a week and a half. That was games I've been playing. And Lolvi has been playing apparently Shabba Dabba Da. I do not know this Shabba Dabba Da, which is apparently a singing game. That sounds a lot of fun. Were you playing that in the sun? That sounds like, I can imagine that sort of a game of just, is that where you make lots of different noises and then you've got to do it in a certain order? But yeah, that sounds like good fun. Anyway, so feel free to chip in, let me know what you think, and let's get to the main topic, which is about this live stream. So, this is, I believe, my 60-second live stream. Yeah, and so the question is, why am I doing this? Why have I been doing this? What have I been doing? And how have I done it? Should I continue? And what should I change? And it's those last 2 questions that I really would like a lot of input from you. I'm really genuinely interested to hear your opinion, especially for those like Alan who've been here from the start. Now, what have I been doing? I guess I've done a daily live stream. Yeah, that is a thing that I've been doing for 62 days. I started off thinking, okay, there's some... I started off back in the day of... oh, thank you, Alan. The recent interviews are fantastic. I'm really happy to hear that, and I am going to try to work on getting more people, because that's a thing I've been especially enjoying. Just, yeah, having people along to chat about things, and I'm hoping to get Lolvi over soon to talk about how games are in France and what ludothèques are, and maybe Sandrino over to talk about their board game cafe in, I forget the city, it's near Carcassonne, or it's to the west. It's to the west, the southwest of France. Anyway, so hearing what gaming is like elsewhere in the world, and hearing what it's like in Nigeria or Malaysia, or, you know, I've been to Germany, I've been to France, but having someone who's there and enjoying listening to other people's perspectives. I think that's always something that's really good. And I might even move to having, okay, let's have a little bit more of a discussion like I had with Alan Paul, although the topic was clearly way too broad when I said, okay, how have games evolved? That's, you could fit multiple volumes of books into that topic. So, why do I do this daily live stream? And yeah, back to what exactly am I doing? So, if we look at my thing, we can. If we look at my Facebook, hopefully I can. There, That is my Facebook, and if you go to the videos, you can see a whole bunch of the daily live streams going back, and it's been every day. So we've got a whole bunch of things, and it started off with the Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday playthroughs where I was just like, yeah, I'm bored. I'm sad that I don't have other people to play games with. Let's play games together. And that was fun. It was like social gaming. We were playing games and it was all good times. And then someone, Heather Newton, told me about this person, Heather Newton over here, told me about Pat Flynn, who came up with this idea on YouTube called the Daily Income Stream. And they were doing this daily thing. And very soon I decided, okay, let me start a daily breakfast board game blether. I started off with a review, and I was thinking, okay, I'll alternate between reviews and Ask Me Anythings. And reviews went well. After a while, I did a brainstorm, more and more reviews. I started talking about my own stuff. I started talking about Wibble, and then moving through all the things. I had my first interview with someone else, I believe was Alan Paul, and then Richard Denning, lovely person, and we've had so many people on. I'm hoping to have Ellie Dix on. It does mean that, and we've had Tally on. Hi Tally, if you're still watching. And it's obvious I can't really have people in the USA on, but that actually is quite nice. It gives me a perspective. I'll say that there's been times when the audio quality has been really bad. Basically, with Shaz, I had troubles. When I was with Jason discussing conventions, I had audio troubles. Speaking of which, there is drilling behind me. Let me know if that's too loud. And Colvin Wong, that was my fault. I ran out of battery power for a bit of time. Now, that is basically what I have done. So, thanks for letting me know, Alan. So, why do I do it? I mean, this is where I kind of step back, and it's not enough to just say, okay, I've been doing this, I'm enjoying this, do I continue doing this? I mean, I guess that is enough. If I say I am enjoying this, then yes, it's worth it. When I arrange interviews, I mean, I'm hoping that there might be quite a prominent set of designers from a place where they speak Japanese, so namely Japan. I'm hoping that I might get them on soon. I'm excited whenever I speak to new people because it is new perspectives. When I talk about my own games, I guess there's a little bit of self-promotion there. I'm just going to be honest. Yeah, of course there is. Like, there's a bit of promotion just in me talking to you today. It's like, yeah, I want to build up this audience and be like, yeah, I've got this sense of ego. I've got this sense of pride. I mean, I like people joining in. It's like, but also it's like reaching out to people. I get up and there's a whole bunch of you watching, and there's Elaine and Alan and Lolvi and Tally, and it's like, hello, it's lovely to kind of know that you're all doing well in the world and that you're alive, even if we aren't having a proper conversation, like you next to me on the other side of the screen. It feels like we're connecting in some way. And Elaine, like you talked about wanting to have someone talking about distribution, and we're having the distributor coming on. Whoops, I accidentally. So yeah, on Friday we're having I believe, is it Dan or the other? So we're having someone from Spiral Galaxy coming on Friday, which is going to be exciting. And yeah, because I would like to speak to more people from different parts of the industry, ideally. I know that I've reached out to a couple of designers who've just been, hey, I'm going to have to decline, and that's totally fair. I'm not giving them a lot of return, and so I'm not going to name names. I don't want to shame anyone, but definitely it's totally fair when a designer says, I just, for whatever reason, maybe they don't want to have to get up at 11 a.m. their time, or maybe they just think, yeah, I don't want to spend an hour and a half chatting to Bez, and that's totally fine. But yeah, speaking to more designers, and yeah, that's definitely something that I'm wanting to do, more overseas perspectives, because that's actually why recently on Twitter I asked people who are your some of your favorite board game people who are from outside UK, USA, France, Germany. That's possible. Maybe some of them are shy, but the people who've refused me, I saw them at Essen, I saw them at UK Games Expo, and I was like, yeah, maybe we're friends, we're Facebook friends, and maybe they want to chat, and it doesn't matter the reason. Maybe they've got low energy. Maybe they just find that talking to people takes a lot of energy, and it doesn't matter. The point is that yeah, for all those people who do agree to chat, I am really appreciative. And parts of me was like, okay, you know what should I ask Ross on from More Games, Please? But the truth is that Ross is a wonderful, wonderful person, and they have a lot to say about board game art. But right now, I feel like, and Elaine is a wonderful person, same as Efka, and I love, no pun included, and but I don't want to just start saying, okay, I want to interview everyone I can. Like, do I still want to do some solo things? I feel like should I still do any solo shows? Should I just say, okay, literally every day is a interview? Is that something you would like, Alan? And yeah, it's that's what I'm asking you, Alan. What would be the ideal number of interviews in a week for you? So it is really nice to... What? 20? 20 a week? No, that's not possible. Unless, have I told you about Besday? Genuine side question. Have I... 20 a week would be like nearly 3 a day. So, but have I told you about Besday? This is not going to be part of the Bezzy Breakfast Board Game Blethering, but talking about live streaming. So, Alan's asking for literally 3 interviews a day. I think that's a bit much, and I think that when someone comes on, I think it's nice to say, okay, this hour we are devoting to you, so they get time to talk about their thing. And I'm talking about Colvin, about having them on again, because that way we can talk about their thing that they've told me about, that it's super exciting, and I can't reveal it unless Colvin talks about it. And oh, that's lovely, Elaine. And it's lovely to hear that you are enjoying it as well, Lolvi, because sometimes if people aren't tuning in during the middle of the day, I feel like, are there people watching? But then there are people watching after the fact on Facebook, apparently, which is kind of, crazy to me, because personally, if I were watching a video, I would go and watch it on YouTube, because at least there you get to make it go faster. For me, the only point of watching it at single speed is, if it's a stream, okay, I get to say hello, or if it's really good. I mean, I'm just going to say I don't have the best attention span, and so I will watch a video only when I'm cutting up stickers or doing something like that, or hula hooping. I would watch a video whilst hula hooping, but I would not, sit and watch a video. I'd watch a video whilst eating breakfast. I'd watch a video whilst eating lunch. But yeah, just curious, what are you doing right now? Are you eating breakfast? Are you doing your exercise? Are you, pretending to be at work? But getting back to the whole number of interviews, I am going to announce right now that on Bez Day, 1st of August, enjoy your breakfast, Alan. On Bez Day, 1st of August, which starts on 31st of August UK time, because there's 1st of August 12 hours ahead of UK. So I am going to be having like a massive long live stream. I'm going to live stream for about 30 hours in 3 days. So there will be significant breaks. But what we're going to do is I'm going to try inviting people on for like kind of a continual like talk show. So people come on and I'm going to invite everyone back, including like, I know you've not heard about this. So Lolvi, even though you've not been over yet, and Tally, I'm going to reach out and invite you back and make a schedule and then be like, okay, come over for, I don't know, half an hour or more. During this day, you can just come over and it can be like one of those talk shows where they have, someone's, someone comes down and sits down in the couch and then the interviewer kind of talks to them for a bit. And then someone else comes over and sits down on the couch beside them. And then the interview talks mainly to this new person, and the focus is on the new person who just arrived for that half an hour. But you have everyone else kind of also tagging along. So we could have like up to 6 people at a time. It could be like a rolling thing, depending on how long people want to stick around for. And then, because this year is the 5th year anniversary of In a Bind, which I'm very excited about, and I asked on Twitter, what should I do? And so I've got a few ideas. I love you too, Lolvi. Oh, sorry, you didn't say love, but I do. And Lolvi, I want to tell you and everyone else that I did actually submit. I know my LARP isn't ready because I've been working on this LARP that I called Dungeons and Dragons and Therapy, and I did do a little bit more work, just enough to write stuff to send to the the smoke. So I submitted my LARP. I am going to be reading up a lot about mental illness. That's something that I do have to do a lot of reading to be able to be well enough informed to do a black comedy. But anyway, and thank you so much for being supportive and for sending me lovely pictures and stuff. But anyway, so what I was talking about, so this is the 5th year anniversary of In a Bind, which is now better known as Yogi. So it's been 5 years since I genuinely started giving it to people at UK Games Expo in 2015, and I got it into shops for 1st of August 2015. Genuinely, 1st of August 2015, I was in Leisure Games, which is in that direction, northwest in London, and not just northwest of me, it's kind of just North London. And Leisure Games, lovely place, and I went in, I managed to sell a few just by sitting there and demoing it, and yeah, so that's lovely to hear. Thanks, Lolvi. And then it's be super excited to have you. I'm doing something crazy, and so this is a bit crazy. Okay, bear with me. So, for those who don't know In a Bind, the rules are draw a card, read it out loud, do what it says, and then you start doing it. And then it's actually called In a Bind, and I will just write it. By the way, the block capitals were not me shouting, that's just, it's faster for me to type that way. So anyway, In a Bind, I might have kind of been slurring my speech together, sorry about that. Draw a card, read it out loud, do what it says. Now, I'm going to create a whole new game called In a Bond. So the way that this is going to work, there's going to be, I don't know how many, like 3 people, 4 people, I don't know, some number of people that are going to be playing essentially In a Bind. And then with the original deck, and then everyone else, there's going to be a whole lot of other people, and like everyone in the comments is going to be playing In a Bond. And then the way in a bond, it's an economic game. It's about buying and selling stocks and shares. So everyone who's playing in a bind is essentially a company. So the more cards they have, the more valuable their stocks are. So what happens is that you want to buy stocks in, for example, maybe you buy stocks in Lolvi when Lolvi has no cards, but then when Lolvi is getting lots of cards, you want to say, okay, Lolvi is getting quite expensive. The stocks for Lolvi are quite, and then you pull out the stocks, so you kind of turn all your stocks into shares into money. But if you wait too long, if Lolvi, crashes and drops a card or stops doing something, then all those stocks and shares drop down in price to zero. It's like a market crash just for that company. And so that is like the overview of in-app bonds. I hope it makes sense. I still need to work out the exact rules and everything and exactly how it's going to work on the live stream based on how many people. But this is something that I've wanted to do for a while. It's been like an idea percolating in my mind. And like basically you've got some performers, and in everyone else, it's like, okay, on your turn, you can invest in some companies if you want. And you can, if you want, draw a card. And once you've drawn a card, you're not doing it yourself. You're giving it to one of the companies. So if you want to make somebody else's company crash, then you load up stuff on them. And, that's sort of the way it goes. And then everyone who's kind of the performer, let's call them, the performers are just doing their best, and then they're playing a totally different game. So it's like two groups of people playing totally different games. But the people who are playing this dexterity game are essential for the people playing the economic simulation game. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. I mean, I know it's a bit out there and outlandish, but that's something that I'm planning to do literally at 2 p.m. every day, 2 p.m. UK time, I should say, 31st August, 1st of August, and 2nd of August UK time. And that is, we're going to see how that works, maybe with different performers and stuff. Anyway, and yeah, I'm quite excited to say, okay, let's just celebrate in a bind. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Aquasulis. And it's lovely to have you with us. Anyway, so yeah, the other thing that I'm thinking of doing, awesome. I'm glad to hear, Elaine and Sally, it's lovely to hear you're excited about this. The other thing that I'm thinking of doing, because I've never actually done, I don't think anyone ever did an unboxing video of In-A Binds. So I'm going to do a long, protracted unboxing of In-A Binds. I've still got about 20 copies. I don't know how many. I've not counted them recently. It's between 20 and 30, I think. I've got a small number of copies left. I'm going to open a fresh copy just for the 5th year anniversary. And then maybe I'll do another unboxing on the 10th year anniversary. And then, I'll be 5 years older and then I'll kind of talk about the cards. And that will probably be when I start it off. Maybe I'll kick off the whole thing on Thursday with that, sort of say, okay, this is where it all started. I'll unbox that. And then I'll probably talk about the expansions as well. I think I should do an unboxing of the expansions because it's also the 5th year anniversary. Oh, I could also do a boxing. Yeah. Is that exciting? Is there I mean, I like the pun. I like that, but and so yeah, the other thing that I'm going to do, and I'm going to get this ready literally in the next couple of days, is I'm going to have a photo competition. So if you own In-A Bind or if you own Yogi, then just make a photo of yourself, and there will be some special prize that will be a one-of-a-kind type thing. When I say one-of-a-kind, it's all like no one's gotten it for over 5 years. Basically, what I'm thinking is I will draw you in the style of how I drew people for the In-A Bind cards. Because back in the days of In-A Bind, I had Andrew Dennison, Last Blast, Maggie Rostron, who's the pole dancer, Joao, who's person with the t-shirts with the cards on top of their head. There's 2 other people. Oh, the red panda was by someone. They just paid me money and then asked me to draw a red panda in it. There was one other person in the deck who I'm blanking on. Sorry to this person. Anyway, I think there were 4 people that I drew, and so I'm just going to, yeah, get people in the style of, yeah, how I drew. Oh, gotcha, my wonderful friend, gotcha. And so, yeah, that is gotcha. And so basically, if you take a photo of yourself playing in a bind or yogi, I don't really mind which one, then I will look at all the photos on, and also you'll have to kind of give me permission to show all the photos on my live stream. But I'll look at all the photos and we'll kind of decide, okay, which was the best photo, and we will, the person who submitted the best photo is going to get that. And if you don't own either of the games, I made a really bad print and play edition yesterday. This is a really bad print and play edition, so it's Comic Sans text, no illustrations, and there's only 12 cards, I want to say. But the 12 cards are enough that theoretically you could have 1 or even 2 people in incredibly difficult poses. And so, yeah, use these 12 cards to get 1 or 2 people intertwined, and take a photo and then send it to me once I've revealed the details, and that will be something that I announce probably via this stream, probably also via Board Game Geek, and probably via my Twitter and Facebook, and I'll announce it everywhere. It's going to be a big thing. And if you have any other ideas for how I should celebrate in a bind, other than like, I'm just going to have basically the whole weekend is going to be a celebration of, people that I like. What I feel like is, okay, there's these people like Cara the Blonde Unicorn, who I've been... So let's talk about it again. I've not really talked about why I live stream. I live stream because of this connection. It's like, I say things and then you write back at me, and it's like, that's how a conversation works. And no, Alan, nibbling a card is not one of the actions. There is no card that says it has to go into your mouth. The closest is one finger touching mouth. But with the wild cards, there is a this card in what? And someone might have said at some point, this card in your mouth. And so if someone said something like that, then alternatively, the way that a card can be nibbled is because in a bind, when you've got lots of cards, you want to kind of take it with your mouth, and because you don't have any hands free. But yeah, why do I do it? Because I like connecting with people, because frankly, I am very lonely right now. I'm not saying this to get any, oh, poor Bez. It's just the way that life is right now. I mean, on lockdown, I like being with people. I like getting out. Before lockdown, I was going to swing dancing. I was going to, every Tuesday, I'd go out to at least one thing. I'd quite often go out dancing. And then after dancing, I'd chat to people, I'd say goodbye, and then I'd go down to Loading Bar, which is in Shoreditch. Loading Bar, brilliant place in London. And Loading Bar was, apparently it was an armpits card. Maybe, I might have, miss going to karaoke. Yeah, those are good times. And yeah, I miss playing board games with strangers. I miss playing, like this stream. I try to keep this positive, and I try to, okay, I'm going to flag up the banner of potentially sad stuff, because, I don't want people to have to listen to me about whinging, if they don't want to. And so that's why I flag up things like this, so that you see this banner, and then if you want to, you can mute it, and then I will take off the banner when I'm done having this rant. And, right now, it is upsetting what's going on in the world. It's upsetting that, we are, at least, I don't want to say we, but I am scared for my life. I'm scared for my parents. I'm scared for those around me. I'm scared for the people that I live with. One of whom is like immunosuppressed. I'm scared for, how the world's going to be. I'm missing just the basic things of being able to go into a shop, and like when I go out and then someone gets a bit too close to me, and then I tell in a queue, and then I tell them please stay a bit more distant when that takes a lot of effort every time, and when it happens every week, it's a drain. And then you've got like, fights with housemates because like, okay, different ideas of what's going on and what we should be doing. There's like, different levels of, okay, this is okay, this, and like then we have like come to some disagreements. There's, tensions are running high, and then there's the whole kind of Black Lives Matter thing, which is, okay, a reminder that a lot of people don't accept that it's kind of, there's an implicit too, as someone said, it's not like, okay, Black Lives Matter, therefore white lives don't matter, or brown lives don't matter. Like, I'm kind of tan, I guess tan lives don't matter. It's like, just people, there is constant reminders of the idiocy in power, and mother baconing Trump, who is kind of spouting idiocy and then all this stuff. And I'm sorry for this rant. This is not what I want the show to be. I want it to be a really... Sometimes I'd like it to be a safe haven to say, okay, we're not going to talk about the sad stuff, but let's be real for a moment. Sometimes, yeah, I just want you to know that honestly, like, these live streams are a respite, and that's kind of the highlight. And then when I come on, and then there's people asking for... There's like so many people that I have to block and delete their comments. People who talk about sexual stuff, or who ask my guests to strip off. And it's like, I don't know if my guests see these comments, like, or if I get them in time, but it's not cool. It's really not cool. And yeah, it is. And hi, Ashley. It's really it's good to see you. And yeah, it's stressful times. These are times when sometimes just sitting down and talking about a board game, and yes, in some ways, a board game doesn't really matter. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about Smugglers, another game about Klaus Teuber, who made Settlers of Catan and Barbarossa and Doddles. Doddles I really like. Smugglers it's a good game. It's 5.5, 6 out of 10. It's a good game. Anyway, so it's like, sometimes you just want to focus on something that you can let things go. It's like, okay, tomorrow I'm just going to talk about Smugglers. I don't want to talk about all this stuff. And if you want to come back to a normal show, come back tomorrow when I'm... And thank you, Elaine. Thank you for this permission. I mean, we shouldn't need permission, but it's like when I made the original In a Bind, talking about In a Bind, like, yeah, that's not sad stuff, but yeah, so when I made the original In a Bind, yeah, I was making a game that wasn't very good. Only played it once, I believe. And there was one card in it that was physical, and someone said, oh, if you want to make this physical game and you want to make a really silly game, just go for it. And going back to the sad stuff that we're talking about right now, oh, cat. Oh, nice. And sometimes it's nice to be given permission, even though we shouldn't need permission. So thank you, Elaine, and thank you, Lolve. And sometimes... I'm going to be honest, sometimes I do this live stream and then I just feel like, yeah, the rest of the day, I should be writing a lot of addresses to people. I should be sending stuff out. And there's like 30-something envelopes that I've got to pack and send out. And that's something that I'm really, I saw the cat. And I feel bad about not having sent this stuff out, but I shouldn't, and I should feel like, okay, I give myself permission to just do it. And sometimes I do kind of take a day off, but sometimes even a day off right now, it can be immensely stressful, because sometimes when I have someone over, and sometimes So the only people that I've had over are Chris and McCall. The only people, genuinely. And we have them over, but sometimes it's stressful because the people that I live with, there are housemates conflicts, and there are like trans rights rollbacks in the UK because and I don't even want to explore this, and I don't even have the energy to go to the protests. And going to the protest this Saturday, if you feel like you have the energy to, if you live in London, you have the energy to go there, please do. And because trans rights do matter, and obviously I'm very biased, but it's like there is so much baconed up with this world. There's so much messed up with this world. There's so much leaders in power who don't care about other people. There's so much people who prioritize the economy over human lives. There's so much people who are like, yeah, we're going to sacrifice those many people. And yeah, at a certain point, when you're in a certain position of power, you do have to put a price on a human life, because that's the way. I mean, theoretically, if you say, okay, we could save this person, it would cost them £1 billion. Is that worth it? Because, you know, when you're actually dealing with finances, but it's just the way that it's been done. It's the way that it's been done without transparency, with hypocrisy in the positions of power, with people giving rules and then going against those same rules that the party instilled. And I guess ultimately I do this to get away from that. And that is the end of my rant. And so, yeah, sometimes honestly, I was talking to my wonderful, wonderful friend the other day. And so, yeah, Liz, if you are there, hi, love you lots. And Liz asked me, and would you feel better if you were to do this live stream, I don't know, 3 times a week? And no, because I just said to Liz, you know, I got up and I'm tired, and there is a little bit of me that would like to maybe once kind of wake up late. But I would like to keep doing this because I like the fact that if you if you tune in on 10 a.m. any day, you know I'm going to be here. And if I'm not, maybe I start it up like 10 seconds late or something. But if 5 minutes late, the day that's 5 minutes late, I'm not here, you know, something's gone wrong. And I feel like it's kind of like a check-in. Like I see Alan, I've seen Elaine multiple times, and Lolvie, and I sometimes see Will Cook and other people, and it's really lovely to see you all. And it feels so personal, and thank you. And Volker Idina, I don't know who you are, but it's lovely to see you there. And yeah, our lives matter. And yeah, just to get back to the political stuff, yeah, Lolvie says, I have a lot of empathy for what's happening in the UK right now regarding trans rights. I'm obviously really biased as well, but I support you. Our lives matters. Trans rights are human rights. Thank you very much, Tally. You are loved, says Tally. And Elaine, please stay safe at these important protests. Don't forget your mask. Very true. When you're at these protests, wear your mask to protect other people. That's how it works. So, and thank you for all those people. And I do this, honestly, I would say there is a tiny part of self-promotion. Don't get me wrong. If at some point, I mean, there's a reason that I say, please comment. I mean, the 2 things, emotional support and self-promotion, it's kind of messed up, and it's kind of sad that as soon as you start being in business, as soon as you start selling a thing, as soon as you start, whether it's pretty much any of us, like, if this is a sad thing to admit, but, and I spoke to Rodney Smith about this at Cannes, where I met Rodney Smith. We exchanged Rodney Smith of Watch It Played, Watch It Played, Rodney Smith, this Canadian person came over with Board Game Geek, and then we traded some sweets, and I got some Canadian sweets, which was lovely of Rodney, and I gave them some UK sweets, and you know, that's something that I'd like to do more of with people, and I was looking forward to doing it with Suzanne Sheldon, and that's not going to happen this year, which is, and I just really, really miss people, and that's why, that's why I do this. It's because I want to feel some connections, and like, I'm not crying because of, it's like been really lovely having you, and I just wish that we could all, you know, be together and, you know, meet and play silly games and laugh and hug and stuff and be together. And sorry, I just really, this is why I do this. And yeah, I was going to bring up my stats. So yeah, my on Thursday, I'm playing games with people. And yeah, I'm definitely going to do some sort of giant in a bind thing. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, I guess also, so the thing I was talking about with Rodney Smith was that when you are doing something that's front-facing, when you have your own business, for Rodney Smith, them sharing sweets with me becomes tinted with a marketing thing, and me sharing sweets with them, it has that tint which is not great. And me talking with Rodney Smith, you know, there's that tint of, well, obviously Rodney Smith has more followers than me. If Rodney Smith mentions me, it's good for, you know, maybe that translates into me selling more games one day. If yeah, Tally comes over, and yeah, it's really exciting, and obviously there's the aspect of Tally wants to sell more games, and I'm not kind of having a go. It's just a sad reality. Me being here, being like doing this sort of show, I enjoy it. Honestly, this is a reason why I get out of bed in the morning. A lot of days recently, I've not felt ready to get up to do exercise. I've not felt ready to get up to draw anything. I've not felt ready to get excited to get up to do playtesting. Frankly, it feels like, yeah, there's a sense of obligation, but having that obligation, having that accountability, so there's two aspects that I do this. So, okay, why do I do this? There's three aspects. Firstly, it's a reason to get out of bed. Alan, I love the fact that you're here every single day. And when I get up to 50 followers on Twitch, which, so I'm just going to actually bring up my Twitch stream right now. What am I on? How do I see my thing? Yeah, how do I go to my Twitch? So yeah, when I finally get 50 followers and then I'm allowed to grant VIP status, I mean, it's just a token thing, but you know, I just really appreciate the fact that you're there, and I'm going to get to all your drawings, and I like the fact that I'm able to do that. And oh, I've got one more follower today, so up to 36 people. And yeah, I really appreciate the fact that you're there, and you're kind of giving me emotional support. Alan, you give me a reason to frankly get out of bed in the morning. And I'm just calling out Alan because, and I really appreciate everyone else being there, everyone else who's popping in sometimes. Sometimes I see Will Cook, sometimes I see Elaine, like Aquasulis. I've seen you a couple of times, and it's really lovely having you all on. And thank you, everyone, and thank you to everyone else, Ashley and Lolvi and Tally and everyone. And it's genuinely, when I say it's a reason to get out of bed, I'm not overstating that. That is genuinely the way it is. It's just, that is one thing. I like that sense of obligation. Why I do it, reason number 2, it's because I do enjoy it. Generally. I love it when I'm talking with someone, when I'm having Calvin, so full of energy, they're lovely, and just talking to them and having them dancing, or having other people who are visibly having energy, and that rubs off on me. And I'm going to see if I can have Jess over one day. I know Jess says, oh, if you're watching this, Jess, whether it's after the fact or right now, I know originally I reached out to Jess to say, hey, do you want to actually join me on this live stream that I've decided I'm going to start this? And then we were about to start, and Jess said, oh, sorry, I realized I can't quite do it. But it works really well in the end, kind of me being solo a lot of the time. But I think having someone else on, it's kind of, you get to bounce ideas back and forth, and being you and having you people, like, I see all the love, I see like this, and I really love this, where it's kind of supporting people and supporting humanity and supporting people that we're all doing. And I really appreciate that from every one of you. And that's the second reason I do it, because I enjoy doing it, because I enjoy it for the connections. I enjoy it for my own sense of learning. I enjoy it, because I get to meet people. I never knew Tally beforehand, and I got to learn about Marge, and I got to learn a little bit about how board games are in Malaysia and how board games are in Nigeria, and I'm going to learn about board games in Nigeria more, and I'm going to learn about, I know a fair bit about distribution, but I'm interested to learn more from Spiral Galaxies, and learning and meeting and connections. I enjoy it. That's reason number 2. And reason number 3 is what's said here about, we are all trading something, we are all marketing, be it a product or all skills or network. And there are still people who never market themselves because they work for someone else, and they're happy doing that, and they're happy continuing to do that forever. And so I was trying to think of someone that I could actually use as an example, McCall or Chris. Although McCall did for a while have a little bit of photography, and they have projects going on. They were part of a band. They were doing some photography projects where humans were kind of posed in very weird ways. And even if you've got to personal projects one day and it's like, okay, you're building up this social capital, this is something that Meeples Like Us talks about. The fact that board games, if I want, let's say I want 10 people, or let's say I want 30 people to join me for a game, and this is a game that I want to play, or let's say I want to people to come over, there is such a thing as social capital that, I know someone down the road called Layla, and I love you lots as well. I have so much, and it's, when we get together, I'm getting something out of it. We have a socially distanced walk. We walk around Downhills Park, and then we chat about things. Layla gripes. Layla talks about things that I'm not going to repeat. I gripe. I talk about things that I'm not going to get into. And then sometimes we sit, far apart. We have done this, we did this for the first time, I want to say 1 week ago, where we sat far apart, and then we played a game that didn't involve touching anything. And, we both enjoyed it. We both got something out of it. But when I ask you to, make a commitment here and to join me at a certain point part, even if it's just please come to my birthday. I mean, hopefully you'll enjoy my birthday, and honestly, this year I've got enough people to come to my birthday, so please don't come to my birthday. I'm not just saying that, but genuinely. Oh, there's the cats again. Oh, I love them. Anyway, so we're saying, yeah, no one in this chat. Sorry, I'm just looking through. No one in this chat is invited to my birthday in 2020. But don't worry, I will totally have another party at some point in the future, maybe in 2021, and then you are all totally invited to my birthday then, when it's safe to do so. And genuinely, around 13th of August, you can all come over. 13th of August 2021. Hopefully it will all be safe. And, you know, when I say things like that, I like doing, again, I like doing things with people, but everything is kind of trading on some commodity. Oh, yeah, it would be lovely to have you, Tally. Sorry, I forget the names. You are Tally, right? Krigina? Out of curiosity, how did you come up with that username? Is that your surname? No, you're Talita Rain. Your surname is Rain. So is that your Oh, it means apparently little darling in Portuguese. Cool. Corriginia. Oh, that's cute. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's not too far, and even though I can't say everyone come over and sleep over because we don't have infinite space for beds, genuinely, if you come over, I could probably put up, I don't know, like we do have one couch. I do have a double bed, and I've, you know, slept with platonic friends on this double bed. We've probably got a little bit more floor space if you're willing to sleep on the floor. So, yeah, that's the kind of. But, and if you're willing to splash out a little bit, obviously there are places like Airbnb in London, but I know that London is expensive. So, but genuinely, come over and. We have this connection, and talking more about this third aspect, this kind of building up this capital. And yeah, let's say if 100 people were tuning in every day, then at that point, if every seventh, lovely, oh yeah, definitely, we can all hang out together. Not, again, probably not this year, but hopefully, you know, in the very near future, fingers crossed. But yeah, so reason number one, I do this because it gets me out of bed. Reason number two, because I want connections with people, because I enjoy it. I enjoy learning. I enjoy connections. I guess that's kind of two halves. And the third reason I do it is, oh yeah, Elaine, I'm not having a mini convention this year. Just every year, in August. Not 2020, but hopefully 2021, you are totally invited. Hopefully 2021, you can come. That's it. Okay. Anyway, so third reason is, yeah, which is probably the smallest thing. The third reason is the whole building up an audience, and that might one day translate into sales of my games. And why do I want to build up an audience? Why do I want to have an audience for my games? I mean, frankly, if I'm being honest, okay, so I care about the L deck. I want the L deck to get more people. That's one aspect. But another aspect is that I want to feel important. This is a horrible thing to say, but this is just an ugly truth. I like it when I see people having fun because of me. And this is just, yeah, I have a lot of ego, and I hope you do not think less of me this way. Like, I could, in some sense, say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to work a little bit behind the scenes. I've started getting contacts with some publishers, and I think that I mean, in 2018, true story, people from Yellow came over and said, hey, we like your game. And I was like, wow, how do you, people who are working for this big company, know who I am. Just like, and it was just because Gigamic had published Yogi, and Yogi's kind of a big deal in France, apparently. I mean, I say apparently, but it's like, I don't know if they want. It's sold, a decent number. It's not sold as many as it's not. It's sold enough that they say they're very happy with it, and fingers crossed it'll keep selling. Fingers crossed, and maybe I will be able to keep selling stuff to publishers. I mean, this year was the first year that I really kind of pushed for meetings with publishers at Nuremberg and Cannes, and I feel really proud of what I achieved. I didn't get anything signed at Nuremberg Toy Festival, but I learnt a lot. I got to... Oh, no, wait. I did get Coiled Spring to take away a couple of games because they really liked Categorical. They also kind of liked the drawing game, but yeah, and then I had that drawing game, a couple of other people really liked it, but then they gave it back to me at the end of the show because they saw USA Opoly was coming out with a vaguely similar thing, and they were like, yeah, I don't want to compete with USA Opoly. Anyway, so the point is that in Cannes, I did manage to, again, get companies to take away stuff, and in this year so far, even though it's been a really tough year, I've not been able to meet up with any publishers. And I was hoping to meet up with some major names. Like, I've got contacts now with Ravensburger and Hasbro, and I've got the business cards of like the main person at Hasbro who said, yeah, we met at an airport, and it was an amazing thing. And then it's like, now I'm in a position where I could basically, if I just focused on that, make meetings. And it kind of still boggles my mind that I'm basically... I feel like I'm not quite a professional. Well, I'm a professional board game designer, but it's only thanks to one game. So once I've got my second game that's actually making me positive income, then I'll feel properly like I'm a professional. But anyway, I do appreciate that. But at the same time, I do want that ability to build up an audience, to go to conventions, to show people games that I made with the L deck, to show games that probably might not... that stuff that I want artistic control over, like the game that's selling that has 2,000 words on the box. Oh dear, I noticed that my computer's at 5% battery. I need to move it back in at some point. But the point is, I could do that, but I do this because, yes, I want to build up an audience. But that's the third reason, and that's a small reason. So, thank you very much, and I really appreciate all the lovely words from you, Lolvi, and also you, Elaine. And yeah, so why do I do it? And how have I done? So if I go back into my, hopefully you can see this. So looking at the past 30 days, I get most of my views on Twitch. Looking right now, I can see that there's 3 people watching on Facebook, and there's 6 people watching on Twitch. That's just the way it is, and there's 0 people watching on YouTube. I am also casting this onto YouTube purely so that YouTube is kind of like a repository. And so for that reason, I do pay a monthly subscription to StreamYard. I paid them, I think it's like, I used to pay them $25. Now I pay them $45. I know that's quite a bit, but for, what I'm getting, which is essentially, I'm getting a sense of purpose. And so, yeah, Twitch is my biggest platform right now. Looking at the stream, so this is my last 30 days. You can see my average viewers is between 1 and 7.2. It's always more on the Saturday, which is probably because I've started having interviews. That was Calvin Wong. That was KC with Nobu. That was that Tally? Was it Tally? Was that KC alone? So you can see, obviously, the interviews have been popular, so people have enjoyed them. But also generally, I've just kind of had a few more people. And yeah, people seem to be enjoying it. And so, yeah, that's, I don't know what else to... Yeah, people... I don't know if any of this is interesting. Oh yeah, stream summaries. So my streams on it's Wednesday. Oh, Wednesday today. Oh wow, I already get the summary from today. Oh cool. But for yesterday, I had one average viewer at night. Um, I tend to have just going back. This is you can see that people start dropping in later on, which is interesting because I thought that it would be okay, everyone drops in right at the start, but it's actually people tend to drop in slowly as the stream goes on. If you look at here, it's kind of like a slow build, which makes me think maybe on Bez Day that'll actually work. And if I go back to the it's either consistent or it's always growing very slowly, which is an interesting thing. And so that is how have I done. Should I continue? I will leave that for you to decide. I mean, I know Alan said that they are enjoying watching it, and I hope that by I'm on 2% battery, I am going to move in. But I hope that the fact that you are watching this suggests that you are enjoying it. So hopefully you think I should continue. Let me know. I'm probably going to continue, and then I don't know if I can. Would I call the Bez Day things the Bezzy Breakfast Board Game Bladder? I don't know. Because that's going to be a full day thing. And Alan Alton, thank you very much for saying that. And now everyone can get an idea of the architecture of a tiny bit of the house. And I know that there's going to be one day during UK Games Expo where I won't be able to talk on my own live stream because I have been asked to do a talk. Board Game Design 101 for Everyone is the name of my talk. Yep, we're plugged in at 1%. Boom, just in time. Anyway, so there's going to be a day when I can't do it, unless, of course, I decide to do a busy breakfast board game bladder at 9 a.m. Or, I'm still going to be bladdering at 10 a.m. that day. It's just going to be on a different channel. I was actually half considering, so how should I continue? How should I change? So up until now, could I do a recap of the UK Games Expo? The UK Games Expo has not happened this year. Do you mean a recap of the history of UK Games Expo? Because if you mean that, then I would suggest you go and watch the interview I did with Richard Denning, which is hopefully, yep, we can see it is number 20 or something. Oh, future. Oh, so you mean a recap after it's happened? Oh, yeah, that's a good shout. And yeah, if that's what you're wanting, then absolutely, I will do that. And honestly, there's a question of how am I going to continue, in the future after this all changes, because UK Games Expo, that's going to be the closest I get to normality. In 2022, let's say, I hope that I will be in a world where I am able to go to conventions, I'm able to go to Wales, I'm able to go to Scotland, I'm able to go to Birmingham and Cannes and, Essen and stuff. And maybe 2022, I would plan to migrate to South Korea, true story. And, that's a really good shout. Do the things on the stream you most enjoy. That's a good shout. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's that's a really interesting reframing. I think the truth is, okay, there is a little bit of the aspect that if I get more people on the stream, then I enjoy it more. And I don't know, why did so many people tune in today? I mean, today I've got 7 people, right now I've got 7 people watching on Twitch and 3 people watching on Facebook. And so hello everyone, and thank you. I'm really honored to, you know, be the focus of some parts of your attention, even if it's a little part. And I feel like, why oh yeah, that makes sense, Alan. Don't do the things you don't enjoy. Um I do want to, that's so lovely. And I'm really honoured. And please do click on the follow button. Um, I'm hoping to get to 50 before 1st of August. If we can get there, that would be super amazing, because then we could do the 5-year anniversary, 5-year anniversary of In a Bind. Do I even have? I don't have but yeah. In a Bind. This is In a Bind Junior. This is not actually In a Bind. In a Bind Junior is a lot less rare. I think they were printed the exact same number, except that In a Bind Junior is fewer people wanted it. But yeah, that's lovely, and well done for waking up on time. And okay, that's good shouts. I mean, genuinely, was there some special reason that you all tuned in today? Because I would like to hear that. And I feel like, you know, sometimes if I'm doing something that other people are getting something from, if there's more people in the audience, then yeah, I do start to enjoy it more. And that makes sense. Lolvy's not working on Wednesday morning. Yay for not working some days. And that makes 2 p.m. is a good time to start work. 2 p.m. it's where it's at. We've already decided this, the 2 p.m. events. But yeah, I think that so looking back, so I'm going to try to write down what have I actually done. I've done reviews. I've done Ask Me Anythings. I've done I've obviously had guests. I've done brainstorms. What else have I done? I've done guests to learn about them, learning about people, learning about designs, learning about new people's designs, and pondering conventions, which is something that I did, learning about their expertise. And this is something that I've done. So the Ask Me Anythings are not something that I've done for a long time. I said that I would do them maybe at most once a month. And yeah, I'm just pondering. This is lovely. Elaine keeps missing them because they're out with the dog around 10 a.m. and I've inspired Elaine to get up and take the dog out earlier. Oh, that is super lovely. And so Ask Me Anythings. I did enjoy them, but I wasn't getting enough questions. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do them for a while. It's too much effort. And if I don't get enough questions, then it becomes too much effort. That was a thing. And brainstorms, I enjoyed doing them, but I didn't like the fact that, and I felt like it was quite difficult to be sort of entertaining and do it at the same time. Like, I didn't feel like it's a thing that I could do. I'm like indifferent about it. Learning about people, I really enjoyed that. I would love to have, and learning about designs. So I don't want this to ever be like We're Not Wizards, where everyone's saying, "Oh, I've got this Kickstarter coming. Can I be on your show?" I don't want to get to that situation where I'm just like, "Oh yeah, everyone come on my show if you've got to." I do want to give a voice to people. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want it to just be point blank, "Yeah, you've got to Kickstarter, come on to this show." I want people to have to kind of add something rather than just marketing themselves. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, like Tally was that was the first person that I had who's like kind of got a forthcoming Kickstarter. I think the only person I've had so far, and kind of talking about them. And Colvin, I'm hoping to have them on again once I'm able to talk about their super secret projects if it's still secret, and we've arranged some dates. And if I do manage to have someone that I really respect, like if I had someone, I don't know, from Haba, I mean, I might see if someone from Jigamic would be willing to come on. But anyway, if I had someone on from, I'm just going to name names. If I had someone on from Oink or from Itten, I would absolutely be very happy to talk about, okay, you as a company, how do you do stuff? How does your company differ from others? Okay, let's talk about these crazy things that you've done. Let's talk about Oink, okay, your tiny boxes, because they're doing something legitimately different. And I am interested in that myself. And I guess, yeah, as a show, I am like going to be a gatekeeper in some ways. I mean, I know that's an ugly word, but I don't want to just be, okay, everyone coming along. So learning about designs, I guess and I like pondering things with, like, so when I had pondering conventions with Jason, that was because Jason was into that. And I know Jason, I can talk freely with them. And I'd like to talk about online playtesting with Chris Bocke. And maybe that's something that I generally want to do. I think maybe moving forwards, I think for me, maybe about 3 or 4 days a week, I'd like to have other people. And I would say at least a couple of days a week, I'd like it to be, probably a couple of days a week, I'd like it to be me and, I don't know, although having said that, do I need it to be just me? Like, I guess the nice thing about it being just me is that then I like having other people, but it's also genuinely the behind the scenes. Then I have to get the person to agree to a date, which can be sometimes a bit stressful, except for Calvin, like they're amazing. But when it's someone who's really busy and that's super fair, then we have to arrange a date. Then I have to say, oh, please get me your description, please give me this info, and then put them on. And that's all good, but honestly, I really enjoy everything except for the setting up. If I could just have someone else just to set it up, if you know what I mean, to set it all up. Maybe future I'll start doing stuff a little bit more in advance. I think I have I used to have the banner that said everything a week in advance, which I don't right now, which is partially because things are changing because of the interviews, which I do slightly miss having that certainty. Looking far ahead, looking to August, when I'm at UK Games Expo, what am I going to do? Am I going to have a busy breakfast board game bladder at 10 a.m. every day? I mean, that seems like a reasonable thing because it doesn't matter really what time I get there. I don't think that there's going to be the morning rush at UK Games Expo. I don't think there's going to be a morning rush like there is at a physical convention. At a physical convention, you get this big queue and then everyone goes in and everyone's, and so yeah, I might take it easy in the morning and say, 10 till 11, I'm always chatting. And the one day that they want me to chat on their live stream, I'll say, okay, this is the busy breakfast board game bladder is there, and I will see if I can ask them to get that video so I can maybe put it up. I don't know if that would work or if they'd agree to that, but maybe I would just sort of say, hey, this is a busy breakfast board game bladder, or I guess, what would I do? Would that be I miss it? Because I'm technically live streaming at 10 a.m. that day, but I want to kind of keep... Anyway, so sorry for the rambling. So what should I change? If it's on Twitch, I could host it. No, because the UK Games Expo want to host their own thing, surely. So I can't host to their thing unless they give me access to their channel, which feels like a big ask. Anyway, so yeah, those are... I've had some really interesting things, and I think that this has been a really interesting reframing of the questions. Just do whatever I most enjoy, and yeah, just base it on that. And so yeah, when I had Alan on for the third time, we were like, yeah, let's think about a topic. Let's talk about how games have changed. That was too big a topic. We barely got started. And so next time it's going to be how war games have evolved. And oh, so is that a Twitch specific thing? So does that mean that? Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, they are on Twitch, so maybe you'll have. Yeah, so does UK Game Expo have to do anything to let me host them, or can I basically host any channel I want? Let me know, because I'm not 100% clear, but that would actually make quite a lot of sense. And then I just host UK Games Expo, and then I happen to be on their channel. That would be, yeah, make lots of sense. So, but yeah, anyway, so looking at the things, I think I'm not going to do the Ask Me Anythings. I do want to do the reviews. I'm probably going to do more reviews of games that I'm pondering, should I get rid of this or should I keep it? And sometimes it's going to be first impressions, but ultimately I don't. I never considered myself a reviewer. I got given several games before I even claimed to be a reviewer. Games that I didn't even ask for. Someone said, "Oh, I saw you reviewed our game on BGG. That was a really good review. Thanks. Here's a copy of our next game." And then I read it and I was not sure I like this, and I've never played that game. But maybe I will play it. And I've asked for one game. I've asked for one game ever, which was that Elementos. That is the only game I ever asked for a review copy for. But yeah, it's okay. Thanks for explaining, Elaine. Okay, so that's what I'll do for UK Games Expo. And then during UK Games Expo, I think I'm probably just going to be like, okay, my breakfast board game bladder is going to be about how UK Games Expo is going, and my maybe Friday will be my hopes for UK Games Expo. Saturday will be my talk, I think. Sunday will be my how UK Games Expo is going, or something like that. And then maybe Monday will be how UK Games Expo was, so I'll just have the whole weekend. And I'm also thinking, because I know that Heather Newton, so there's this thing called Protospiel Online, where just bringing that up. So Protospiel Online is a thing where you can get a badge, if this is the right. Hopefully this, no. Protospiel Online, darn. See, this is why I'm not a good streamer. But so yeah, Protospiel Online. You can read more about it at apparently protospiel.online. And if you go there, then it says this is happening at 17th to 19th of this month, and it's all about the playtesting. And if you click on the buy badges, then there are some preview badges. And am I press? Am I media at this point? I honestly don't know, because I was tempted to buy this, and it also means that all it means is that you need to kind of talk about the event. And you know, I don't want to just talk about the event to save myself $15, because that seems really spammy. But it feels like something that you know, I like Header. I've enjoyed it, and there's lots of really cool stuff going on. I'm never going to have any of the US folk on here, because you know, this is at what, like 5 a.m. we start, and yeah, there's a whole appropriate content, avoid overloading, and then prioritize human connection. That's something I really like about Protospiel Online. And there's a strong anti-harassment thing and pro-inclusivity, and yeah, operates with the assumptions of good intentions. That's, you know, just a really nice thing in general. And I think that, yeah, I want to support them. I guess I am. So apparently we've got 2 show points for people to say I am media. But it just feels really weird because I think of myself primarily as a board game designer, and I would say second. Am I even at this point? I don't even know if I consider myself more a publisher or more a media person right now, because publishing definitely takes more of my time, just packing stuff but I don't know, media stuff also takes quite a, I don't know which one actually takes more of my time and energy right now. I feel like it's pretty much 50-50. Although, sadly, like design, it takes the least amount of my time, even though I'd like to take more. Just don't get a chance to play, and I don't like playing online. Anyway, I'll talk with Chris Bockey, I'll invite them over. And thanks, Elaine, thanks everyone. I feel like it's time to start wrapping up. I've already gone over by, half an hour. So let's quickly wrap up with some things that everyone is looking forward to and things that everyone has a daily hope for. Please let me know in the comments, wherever the comments are. I think they might be this way or they might be this way, I don't know. But let me know, what are you hoping for? What are your ambitions? And what are you looking forward to? Personally, today I am looking forward to, I'm not looking forward to this. I am slightly dreading, if I'm being honest, my meeting with Jason, who is my I pay them money every month to work for me a couple of hours per week. And Jason basically makes me organized and does my to-do list, and it's just taken me a bit longer than expected to pack all these stickers, and I wanted to do them all by now, and I've not quite done all my to-do things, but I'm looking forward to chatting about at least SD and UK Games Expo, and I'm looking forward to making progress with stuff. I guess that's it. And also I'm looking forward to Chris and Nicole are coming over again. Like, it's been amazing. Like, we've basically seen each other. I mean, for personal reasons, I've been doing the boop, foot, hand jazz because we are really on point with telling each other exactly who we've even seen, but we both have to go to the shops, and so even at the table, I'm feeling like a little bit anxious, frankly, even when we play Pandemic Legacy Season 2. Ironically, like how I'm worried about getting infected. But I have been enjoying this new game. I enjoy it a lot more than Pandemic, I'm just going to say. I feel like, the basic game, it's all about giving people medical supplies, and if there's infections, then that's just really, really bad. And I'm looking forward to playing together, and I'm going to cook myself something for lunch. I'm going to chop a bit of a cucumber. I'm going to cook an egg. Is it lunch or breakfast? I mean, I've not eaten anything yet, I don't think. So I guess it's breakfast. Anyway, so for my brunch/lunch, I'm going to have an egg, have a cucumber, and that's something I'm looking forward to. And yeah. Oh, hi. Hello, Happy Otter Games. Oh, thank you. And Valkyrie was sent an RPG to read through and playtest, and a board game rulebook to edit, so hoping to do that today. Yep, it's all difficult to establish your priorities, whether to do your own game first or someone else's to edit. Alan Oughton, looking forward to clearing out a garage full of rubbish. Not? Okay, so you're looking forward to having it done. Elaine hopes that the world can go back to normal soon and we can all go to conventions as normal again, but they feel like they're getting to know people better because of streams. That's, really true. And, sometimes I would like to have genuinely, just people on, because when it's like, like I've got like the quick questionable questions, and having someone over to ask the quick questionable questions, it feels like, tomorrow I should just start doing the quick, I should say, Yeah, tomorrow I'm having Fortessa over from Girls Play Games. So they're going to join us on the live stream as a special guest, and I'm going to do that. Happy Otter Games has finished their game, Ninja Snails. They've even got production quality prototypes, but they just don't have time to publish it. Yeah, right now, it's just been, yeah, really difficult. Indeed, well done for completing it. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Aquasulis, and thank you, Olvi. And a daily hope and ambition. I hope that we can move towards more kindness. That's my hope. That's my hope. I mean, my personal hope / ambition, okay, is to finish. So there's so much stuff that I was meant to do by now that I've not done. I was meant to send out everything. I was meant to rewrite the puzzle rule books. I was meant to send that out. Even that is a lot more than it sounds like. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do all of that today. But my daily hope is realistically just to get everything packed up. Everything in an envelope. That is my daily hope. And then I can post it all tomorrow. That is my personal daily hope. My global daily hope is that everyone can move towards more kindness. And so, yeah, do you have any personal ambitions? Oh, thank you, Happy Otter. It's nice to have you. And yeah, let's all hope for kindness. Fingers crossed. I would say let's drink to kindness, but I didn't fill up my glass of water this morning. I've literally not drunk anything. That's probably not great. Been up a couple of hours as well. I've been cut and got out stickers this morning. Anyway, kindness always. Yeah, good shout. Okay, so firstly, again, if you have enjoyed this, thank you everyone who has been commenting. I really appreciate knowing that everyone is out there and having everyone come along and say things. I especially appreciate lovely, respectful comments like this. And this is a wonderful hope and ambition. And I love things like this. And, oh, this is a good idea from Alan. Prioritize the important tasks and let us know what they are, and we can keep you accountable. And it has a new section on the 10 a.m. stream. So, yeah, would you people be okay with that? Maybe I could say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just show you my to-do list. Whoops. There we go, switch to the tab. So this is my to-do list for all the things that I was meant to have achieved. But wait, that's on the wrong window somehow. Oh, I see what happened. I need to drag that into there. Okay, so anyway, so if you're happy with me sharing my to-do list, this is me. This is way more than I can do today. So basically, this is my to-do list, and let me get rid of that banner. So you can see these are all. So Jason helped me set up this to-do list. All the red things are the things that I was meant to have done over the past week. So I managed to draw the cards. I did not finish packing or addressing or doing that. Oh, I did email Alex Yeager this morning. I have not drawn the S or updated for that. I've not done the video. That was just if there's time, priority 1. Attend virtual GridCon. Oh yeah, I did do that. Yeah. Rewrite the rules for puzzle. Yeah, that's a bit thing. Send playtesting. I'm going to draft this. I will do this in the next few minutes. And then there's some quite serious things. A procurement policy, a privacy policy, and join like these companies, because apparently that's a really important thing for legal purposes in the UK, I was advised. And then I have a meeting with Jason. So that is my to-do list. But I am going to basically just do the highest priority, which is getting out these Kitty Cataclysm stickers, just to make sure I do that. and then I will do the puzzle and then do that. But yeah, remove. Okay, so that is my thing. It's in a Google Sheet. Oh, it's been lovely having you, Lolvi. Sorry that I'm rambling so much. Love to you as well. Have a wonderful day. Oh, we've got some shouts for Trello. Oh yeah, I never talked about GridsCon except for with Alan Alton. Yeah, that was good stuff. Well done to Paul Grogan for organising that, and there was a charity raffle. Yeah, and so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, please comments if you've enjoyed it. Then if you would join my Twitch and follow me there, I would appreciate it. I am stuffwithbez.com, twitter.com/stuffwithbez, instagram.com/stuffwithbez, and twitch.tv/stuffwithbez. So go to twitch.tv/stuffwithbez and press on the little follow, and fingers crossed I will get up to the 3 regular viewers and the 50 followers by 1st of August. That's what I'm aiming for. And then facebook.com/thingsbybez. I need to sort that out according to Alan Alton, and stuffwithbez@gmail.com. I'm going to sort that out. That's going to go priority free on the to-do list. And just to wrap up and recap, yep, this has been a lovely stream. I am going to continue doing it, and I think that Aquasilla said it best, which is to do what I think I will enjoy, and I'm going to work out exactly what that is and just follow that. And I do enjoy having a bit of a, you know what I don't enjoy? What I don't enjoy is having to write up the descriptions ahead of time. Does anyone actually read the descriptions? Let me know, yes or no. Do you read my descriptions? Let me know, genuinely, yes or no. Because the descriptions appear on Facebook and on YouTube. And if no one reads them, I could just kind of do a one-line thing and not bother having a new, not bother with a new photo necessarily each time. And that would make it marginally easier. And so, yeah, but to recap, I am going to continue. I am enjoying this, and I'm really glad that tons of people are enjoying it. And why do I do it? Firstly, because it's a reason to get out of bed. Secondly, connections. Thirdly, I'm learning from other people now. I started doing my interviews. And fourthly, yeah, there's the whole marketing stuff. So apparently people do read my descriptions. Okay, so I am going to continue spending those 5 to 10 minutes to try and write something. Okay, so my next stream is tomorrow. I am doing a review of a game which I actually have over there. I could run back to the back of my room and right now show you this is what I am reviewing tomorrow. Smugglers by Klaus Teuber. It's a really weird game. It's all about shoving balls into holes. That is literally what the goal, and also about having things inside your balls. It's about what's inside your balls, and it's about so literally it's with intelligent putty, and the putty is so cool, and it's about what's inside your balls. Can you get your ball through the hole? That's entirely it. Very simple. That's review. That's going on tomorrow. That's 10 a.m. and then 8 p.m.-ish. So I'm going to set the time as 8:10 p.m., but we're going to try to start earlier. I'm going to try to move that towards 8 p.m. Like when I say long term, I mean over the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then 8 p.m.-ish is going to be probably Say Anything, followed by Micromuckle. And Say Anything is a game that Fortessa indicated, and we're going to be joined by Fortessa, who's from the USA, does a bit of writing. They're an amateur board game designer. I'm excited to have them. So that is me. And again, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Alan, Tally, Lolvi, Elaine. Yeah, it's just wonderful to have you all. Thank you for all the new people. Aquasilis, you're not new, but yeah. Ashley Slater, who just kind of popped in to say hello. And, you know, I didn't have any mean comments today, which is always nice. And Volker Idina, and yeah, I think I said, I think there's someone else who oh yeah, Happy Otter Games. Yeah, there we go. And it's really, really nice to have you all with us. Oh, Alan Outson's got some interesting comments. Would you do a mechanic of the week? I don't know if I mean, I guess I could start the. You know, there's that. I guess like I could start, you know, pondering things, or I was kind of thinking of doing something akin to what I would have talked about for Origins and what I would have talked about for UK Games Expo had UK Games Expo. Because if UK Games Expo were a reality, as in a physical reality, they would have let me do 3 talks. But as it is, I'm only doing 1. Now, the other 2 talks, I'm not going to spend too much time going really into, but maybe this is where I start doing what I was doing on my internet radio show, where I start talking about what's a game and stuff like that, and having discussions of things, and maybe giving more discussions. But I like the more casual nature of this. I don't want to just stand up here and have to do slides and things and do a presentation. But thank you for, you know, the suggestion. I am always open to new suggestions, but I think that at least for the next month and a bit, I'm just going to follow my own mojo. And so I will appreciate all suggestions, but I don't promise to follow any of them. And again, thank you, everyone. I cannot say it enough. Thank you. And yeah, it's been lovely, and I am loath to go away. This is, you know, this is actually the thing that makes me think, you know, maybe I would have the energy for because I get to the end of this, and then it's like, I don't want to say goodbye. I want to keep talking. I want to keep having you on. I want to have someone else join me. I want to invite one of you to join my live stream. I mean, I could, in theory, okay, I'm going to do something really crazy. This is, if any of you are actually, this probably won't work. Nah, I was just going to say, yeah, this is a link. It's going to be active until I stop this live stream. So that's Orhanet Ertugrul, and it's been lovely having you on. And if you want to follow it just to join me in the goodbye song, then follow that link. And if I recognize you and if I can vouch for you, then I will add you on. I'm not going to have, you know, just so that is the link. But all that is left to do, as always, is to say bye, 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 bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. It's been lovely having you all. Bye, 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 bye. A good day, one and all. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye-bye.